So what's a pie worth? I'm curious. I want to go back to your point about energy because last week New York lawmakers passed a bill to ban for 2 years certain kinds of Bitcoin mining that uses energy sources that are bad for the environment. It's now waiting a final signature from the governor of New York. Do you think that's a good move, and how do you think that affects Pi Network, especially your point earlier about lower energy usage?
Well, its impact on Pi Network is, I guess, it's not necessarily directly impacting us because we're completely using a different type of consensus algorithm that is different from proof of work. We're using federated Byzantine agreement, by which I mean it's relying on a trust graph instead of energy. So that's why by nature, this algorithm doesn't necessarily rely on energy. And that is the fundamental reason why Pi Network is not consuming a lot of energy like the classic proof of work consensus algorithm.
What does it mean for the future of mining and crypto mining to have the ability to do this right in the palm of your hands? But you guys really revolutionized how people can mine. What does that mean now for the future of mining?
Yeah, I think this is the way to go because if you think about it, Bitcoin proved to the world that it is possible to have digital currency, and it works. So the first time that it was implemented, it had to be with the way it was to be succeeded. So to succeed, it needed to have servers, it needed to be what it is. No matter how we started, now the world operates mobile. We are living in 2000, it's not 2009 anymore, it's 2022, and we're going to the future. So more and more people have exclusively mobile phones and they don't have computers or they're using their iPads and their mobile devices rather than. So if you were by saying that you have to exclude all those people from the process, then you're already making something very restrictive. So I think that it is the future, and I believe that even all blockchains are thinking towards that direction.
So yung questions is about yung energy. Okay, ano ba yung nangyari? Sa New York daw, ay parang iban ata sa US yung pag-mine ng cryptocurrency kasi nga yung electricity na ginagamit is sobrang bigat na. Ngayon, nakaka-apekto ba ito sa Pi Network in terms sa mga pioneers na nagmamine? So, in-explain dito ni Chan, magkaiba sila ng consensus na ginagamit. Ang ginagamit ng Bitcoin is a proof of work. So, kailangan ng energy para makapag-mine ng Bitcoin. Pero ang Pi Network is iba. Okay? Yung ginagamit is yung Byzantine. Tapos, sa magitan ng trust graph. So, hindi mo kailangan ng malaking resources ng energy para lang makapag-mine ka or makasali ka sa network ng Pi Network kasi nga, hindi tayo nagdedepende sa proof of work. Ngayon, pangalawang tanong ni ito nag-interview. Ano ba yung future ng mining? Sabi niya, ito na yung future. Pwedeng ma-access ng mga tao ang mining sa pamagitan ng phone nila kasi lahat is my phone. Pero pag exclude natin ang ginagamit ang phone, baka hindi natin makuha yung karamihan. So, ang point dito is syempre credit pa rin sa Bitcoin. Sabi ni Nicholas na naipakita ng Bitcoin na it is possible na gamitin ang cryptocurrency. Ngayon ito syempre kailangan nating mag-evolve. Kaya ngayon sabi nila this is the future of mining using our phone. Kaya makita nyo maraming mga projects ngayon na nag-start na sila na gumamit ng phone para makasali sa network. Okay? Hindi lahat pag mining kasi ng word, ibig sabihin proof of work na parang Bitcoin na hindi. Kasi proof of work yan yung pinakauna para makasali ka sa network. Kaso lang, masyadong malaki ang ginagamit niyang electricity. So, marami pang mga protocols na ginagamit, hindi lamang proof of work. Meron yung proof of stake, proof of authority, and proof of time. Yun yung mga iba't ibang protocols sa atin. Ginamit natin yung Byzantine protocol na kung saan nagre-rely tayo dun sa trust graph na tinatawag. So, lahat ng mga nabanggit kong protocol na yun, isa lang ang masyadong gumagamit ng electricity or energy. Yun yung proof of work. Okay, so nakadepende yan kung anong gagamitin ng mga ibang projects, anong klaseng protocol para ma-secure nila yung network nila. Okay? So tanggalin natin sa isip natin na pag mining na pinag-usapan is iniisip na natin Bitcoin, hindi pwede yan mining phone lang. Hindi, may mga ibang protocol na ginagamit ngayon para lang makasali tayo sa network. Next question tayo.
Final question, Pi Network has a huge following worldwide. To what do you attribute your success, and what is needed to further amplify the presence of Pi Network in the United States?
Well, we are actually because I guess our headquarters, a big part of our team are actually located in US. US is actually one of the biggest community of Pi Network. Pi Network is a world project. Actually, we have over 230 countries distributed users from pioneers from all over these countries, almost every region of the world now. We are, not necessarily trying to increase a certain population because it's a world project, but in order to build on top of, to grow in every region, we need to basically continue cultivating more utilities, continue to build our community, continue to hold, bolster our sense of identity of being part of the Pi network. And it's from the bottom layer, the blockchain layer, the social structure layer, the cultural layer, all three layers as a full stack of building a full vibrant ecosystem of Pi network.
Where do you want to take the company? What's ahead on the road of development, and what users can see in terms of the experience in the next year to 18 months, let's say?
Well, the goal is to have a very useful, widely accessible cryptocurrency that can allow a lot of people to be able to take advantage of the new utilities of blockchain. And by that, I mean there is a lot of innovation that happens with smart money. So once money can have, some people call it smart contracts. There's multiple ways to think about it, but it's the first time in the world where you can have things like micro escrows or micro payments or other things that essentially creating a new era of possibilities in the world. So Pi is combining those facilities along with a large network of people participating to create something useful for the world. Specifically, that's for the longer term, as you said, a year and a half and beyond. In the meantime, from now until then, what's important is that we are currently in the process of completing KYC for the members of the network. So Pi is going to have millions of people who are crypto ready and KYC, then real people, real accounts on it. So we are currently in the process of doing this. And the goal is that once we have a large number of people who have initially KYC'd, to migrate their balances into their mainnet so that they can start exploring and using the currency.
Gotcha.
Ngayon ko lang nalaman na ang US pala ang may pinakamalaking community sa Pi Network. Akala ko China. Ang questions dito is paano pa nila palaguin ang Pi Network, kasi alam natin na ang Pi Network ang may pinakamalaking community. So sabi ni yung babae si Chang na kailangan syempre i-boost yung identity natin. Marami na akong nakikitang nagpo-post sa social media. Alam mo, nakakasira sa Pi Network na pabayarin ang papasok, ano pa, yung i-disable yung mga account ng mga Nigerian, yung mga ganung post, huwag nyo nang pakailangan kasi minsan nakaka-apekto sa community ng Pi Network. Syempre, yung gusto pa sanang mangyari in the future is lumago pa ang Pi Network, marami pang makakilala, ma-boost pa yung identity ng Pi Network, at mapag-grow natin yung network. At syempre, sabi ni Nicolas din, maparami pa yung utility na ma-create inside the ecosystem of Pi Network. Pangalawa, sabi niya na ngayon is nag-start na ng bagong era ng mga micro escrow o micro payment. I-combine natin sila at yung malaking yung community na makiparticipate, at in a long term, ano yung plano is magamit natin yung cryptocurrency as a payment, as a utility talaga. Mahaba-haba pang usapan to, pero ganun yung vision or kung saan papunta ang Pi Network. Okay, so check natin itong sunod na tanong.
A question, we've just seen really an implosion in the cryptocurrency market, as we've seen in the regular, equity markets. Are you concerned about what you're seeing just broadly in the crypto space? And actually, is it good? Is it clearing out kind of the bad apples in the industry that, and then allowing it to kind of move forward in a better place? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, it's usually an unpleasant thing to hear that any market may be going up and down. At the same time, it is a natural cycle that it happens all the time, and we have seen it in crypto multiple times as well, that there is a cycle. I also agree with the second part of your question, that you mentioned that this helps possibly clear out some activities that are maybe happening with the wrong incentives. So things that are more less of pointing towards something useful, but more leading the world towards, let's say, games, financial games that they can trick people. That clears out the landscape. But overall, for Pi, as I mentioned earlier, we never sold Pi to any person. So there's no one who can be sad that the down cycle is here right now, because no one bought it at a higher price and now it's a lower price because no one could buy it to begin with. So essentially, to the Pi network, the way that the currency is used hasn't really been affected by the external market at all. Because I can give you an example. Right now, people are spending 1 Pi to request to be KYC'd by the net. This 1 Pi, and everybody is paying 1 Pi. This 1 Pi is pooled and then distributed to some human validators. Other people in the network are helping complete the validation. So there's a pool of Pi that is then being paid out to the validators. So within the Pi network, before the crash, people were paying 1 Pi. During the crash, they were still paying 1 Pi, and after the crash, they're still paying 1 Pi, and they're getting paid the same amount that the validators they would. So it was completely no effect at the moment. So now in the future, of course, we all live in a connected world, right? And we don't necessarily, it's not necessarily always going to be living in a vacuum, but that's the current situation.
Ito yung tanong niya na, nag-aalala ka ba sa current situation ng crypto space ngayon? Kasi nakita natin, bumagsak lahat ng mga projects. Kung imbaga, affected ba ang Pi Network ngayon? So, hindi, sabi niya. Bakit nasa enclosed mainnet pa rin tayo eh? So, walang mga nagre-reklamong mga pioneers na argabyado na parang sasabihin, bumagsak ang market ngayon, apektado tayo. Kasi nga, syempre, hindi naman sila nag-ICO or hindi naman sila nagbenta ng coins na kung saan nagre-reklamo yung mga bumili sa taas. Walang nangyari sa Pi Network na ganun. Sa mga ibang projects lang. Kung ikaw bumili sa taas, tapos ngayon bumagsak, ikaw na yung nagsasabing scam na yung project. Yun yung problemang nakikita ngayon dito sa crypto space. Pero ang sabi ni itong nag-interview na one way para i-remove or tanggalin yung bad apples. In fact, maganda ang cryptocurrency eh, di ba? Kaso lang, ang daming mga projects yung na cash grabs kinagatasan, especially yung mga retail investors. So, yun yung sabi ni Nicholas, okay ngayon ang nangyayari. Pero dito sa Pi Network, hindi pa naman affected kasi nasa enclosed mainnet pa rin tayo. Okay, walang nagre-reklamo kasi nga hindi sila nagbenta ng coins or nag-ICO. Pero hindi ganito palagi kasi in the future, naniniwala tayo na connected tayo sa isa't isa. Darating din yung araw na pupunta tayo sa mainnet. And then, of course, hindi pa rin natin mapigilan mga ibang pioneers na magbenta ng kanilang token at pwedeng maapektuhan yung price. Yun yung sabi niya. So, ito na yung last question, yung inaabangan natin.
So what's a Pi worth? I'm curious.
So Pi is worth what the pioneers make it worth. So
ayun, nasagot na yung mga tanong nyo. Nakadepende sa pioneers, okay? Kung paano mo i-value yung Pi mo, ganun ang worth ng Pi. Siyempre, malalaman natin yan pag sa mainnet na. Pero sa ngayon, pag ibenta ko itong mug sa inyo ng sabihin na nating 1 Pi, kung gusto mo, kukunin mo. Ganun mo bigyan ang worth ng Pi. Pero pag sabihin kong isang Pi pero ayaw mo, depende pa rin siya yan kasi nakadepende nga sa pioneers kung paano natin i-value ang ating mga Pi. So hanggang dyan lang mga Lodi, maraming salamat sa iyong panonood. Sana naintindihan natin at sana nabigyan pa tayo ng linaw dito sa vision ng Pi Network.